bad, y'all. I gotta move my table. Kids move those fast. All right. Oh. Boom. Boom. Okay. Okay. My man Byron Blake. Yeah. Okay. All right, where is that? Where is that? Slow grind. Boom. Shit, I'm live right now. Tap into my YouTube channel. All right, y'all ready for this? All right. Boom. All right, we're here. 1 minute, waiting to get to it. Shout out my man Byron Blake. Okay. Hey, off topic, on topic. One of my co-coaches and my coach's son, my kid's coach, one of the coaches that's on the staff with me, who's also one of my kids' coaches, I might end up having to whoop his ass. You feel me? And that's that. I'm gonna end up having to fuck this nigga up. I'm gonna end up having to fuck this nigga up. We waiting on Byron Blake though. But y'all want to hear that story? Today's the 13th. All right, boom. Y'all want to hear that story? When I say I'm gonna end up having to fuck this nigga up, oh boy, I'm having to fucking this nigga up. It's gonna come down to it. It's gonna come down to it. And I'm gonna end up having to really fuck this nigga over, bro. It's gonna happen. Okay. I'll give y'all that story next. I'm gonna beat the shit out this nigga, boy. I ain't turn her hands. When I say I'm gonna beat this nigga bad, well, I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out this nigga. All right. Hey, Flex Flash, I'm gonna start doing all that responsible shit this week. It's Monday, new week, new me. A couple of weeks ago. All right, hold on. Let's get into this though. Let's get into this though. You hear me? Y'all hear me? This shit sound weird as fuck. Hold on. Oh, that was happening. Okay, we all here? So, like four other, like I don't know why, like another YouTube video was playing in my background. Okay, we cool? All right. My bad, y'all. All right, man. We finna jump right into this content on the chat. If you want to hear, why I'm probably finna end up whooping my co-coach and the coach on my kids' team's feet. Let me know at the end of this we get into that. But right now, man, Byron Blake coming with some news we can use, some knowledge we ain't finna get nobody's college. He's saying that Wack has officially been named as a victim by the feds in a big UK. So let's get into this, man. Shout out to Byron Blake. Big filed a motion to exclude prior act evidence. In this motion, he challenged a lot of different things, but today we're going to be focusing on the overt acts because there are certain overt acts that Big U felt like the government included in his indictment just as filler, kind of like fluff, you know. Now, specifically, Big U would accuse the government of including a catch-all category in his indictment. This catch-all fear and control over community and victims category. He says that it relies on overt acts 106, 110, 111, and 145 through 170 generally. He would list these overt acts. Basically say that the omnibus category is too vague to permit meaningful notice and too broad to allow fair litigation. The government cannot admit a sweeping block of alleged overt acts
generally as proof of fear, power, or control without identifying the specific evidence, witness, exhibit, and non-propensity purpose for each item. Basically, he's saying that, they are saying that they are trying to prove that he had.
Mods, let the chat. I got the timeouts. Don't come in here asking stupid questions. Just chill out and watch. Don't come in here asking dumb questions. And if you come in here asking dumb questions, trying to run the chat, is he a blah, 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 you don't want to just sit back and watch the content, I'm going to time out you. Just chill out. Be an adult. Hit the like button. Let's keep going.
Established fear and control over the community and victims to, explain why people haven't spoken out or why people were going along with the extortion. And he's saying that a lot of this stuff that, y'all have put together doesn't even, say anything. It's just a big group of stuff that doesn't even connect to the actual charges. He cites Rule 404B requiring a disciplined, item by item, propensity free chain of reasoning, not a thematic narrative, particular proof. Basically saying, hey, if y'all gonna have this stuff mentioned in my overt acts, then there needs to be some overt acts. Otherwise, y'all just throwing a bunch of allegations out there. Among those allegations is overt act number 155, which alleges that.
So they talking about WACK100. Let me make sure I get this 100% right. Shout out to Byron Blake. The title is Breaking News. Federal Government Acknowledges Big U charged with assault on WACK100. Breaking news. Federal government acknowledges Big U is charged with assault on WACK100.
On December 30th, 2022, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that when defendant Henley catches WACK100, I'ma break his jaw. The defense response to this is a private statement of frustration.
So Wack is in Big U's paperwork as a victim. It's right here. WACK100 is in Big U's paperwork as a victim. It is right here. Let's get back into it. Easy going to the claim.
Threat communicated to WACK100. There's no evidence that WACK100 ever heard this statement, was placed in fear, or harmed. The government has not charged any assault on WACK100. It would also include overt act number 160.
Hold on. Because hold on. Let me run this back just a little bit. Hold on. Let's run this thing back. Just a little bit. Hold on.
This is a private statement of frustration, not a threat communicated to WACK100. There's no evidence that WACK100 ever heard this statement, was placed in fear, or harmed.
So Big U's lawyer is maintaining that because you heard him say that he wanted to break WACK100's jaw on a wiretap and Wack is named as a victim in the Big U paperwork, doesn't mean that Wack, now Big U's trying to pull like, oh, well, that mean he was actually afraid of it. That means actually whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But here's Wack in the paperwork because Big U's now trying to fight, saying that he didn't mean it like that, or he ain't this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He ain't this, he ain't that. You know, he could have never seen it because Wack was named as a victim. Why would Big U's lawyer be trying to prove that he wasn't trying to do anything to Wack if Wack wasn't named as a victim? We watching it right here. It's right here. It's right here. We're watching. It's right there. We can see it.
The government has not charged any assault on WACK100. It would also include overt act number 164, which alleged that on January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said he wanted to beat the out of WACK100. Defense response to this is the government has not.
This is a literal piece of evidence. Overt Act number 164, Exhibit C-58 to C-59. On January 12, 2023, on an intercepted call, defendant Henley said that he wanted to beat the SHIT out of WACK100. This is literally Wack in the paperwork. It's the overt act number. It's the exhibit. It's everything you need. It's everything you need. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this because niggas like to act like they don't see what they supposed to see. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Let me pause this real quick because I need to take a screenshot. Hold on. Let me get a screenshot of this. Hold on. Let me Good, hold on. Yeah, this is a screenshot of all the paperwork right there. Just gonna make sure you get a screenshot of that right there because I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. It's the paperwork right there. Where's Wack and Big U's paperwork? Right there. Right here. P Nice! You was asking for it. Your Uncle Wack, his paperwork's right there.
Identified what action, if any, followed because none did. Expressing disapproval of an informant in a private conversation is not obstruction of justice, witness tampering, or a RICO predicate act. The government must prove a specific criminal act, not.
So they're acknowledging that Wack is a victim in the case, but that don't got nothing to do with the RICO. So you calling him a victim, and what I said I wanted to do with him, yeah, I said it. Yeah, it was gonna happen. Or wookie bam this, but that ain't got nothing to do with this RICO though. One don't got nothing to do with the other. You feel me? Man, but you know what though? Here go the thing though. These niggas is gonna still defend. They gonna still defend their daddy Wack. These niggas gonna still defend their daddy Wack. We know that. Look, at this point, we're looking at it. I just gave y'all case numbers, exhibit numbers, and everything, and niggas will still be like, but, because niggas like to hang out with snitches. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Niggas like to hang out with snitches. We already know that. Hit the like button, run them likes up, hype up. You feel me? Niggas like to hang out with snitches. We've already known that. That's why Flacco still has friends. Niggas like to hang out with snitches. Niggas not gonna disassociate from Wack, even though the paperwork is right there. We're literally looking at federal paperwork. They just niggas act like they didn't see it.
You would argue that the government may rely on the proposition that in conspiracy cases, it may prove the full scope of the conspiracy. That proposition, however, does not mean every uncharged act connected in some way to an alleged conspiracy or enterprise is automatically inextricably intertwined. Basically saying that every single thing that we done, all of this stuff that we not even charged with, is not automatically a part of the conspiracy or an extension of the conspiracy because y'all alleged that a conspiracy was going on at the same time that this was going on. Critically, even in the RICO context, the government must make an affirmative showing how proof of each incident it seeks to admit constitutes proof of the scope of a charged conspiracy to avoid a Rule 404B analysis. So, when you talking RICO cases, to avoid this 404B scrutiny, you have to show how all of these affirmative acts
are connected
to proof of what you are charging us with. If you got
so me wanting to beat the SHIT out of Wack and Wack being a victim in the case does not actually constitute a RICO. It just says that I want to whoop Wack feet. There's no law against wanting to whoop Wack's feet. There's no law against wanting to whoop Wack's feet. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We got all the people in here. Hit the likes up, throw them stickers, super chats, all that kind of stuff. Show some love, subscribe, hit the like, hit the hype, all that kind of stuff. You feel me? But with that all being said, there's no law against wanting to whoop Wack 100's feet. So if you want to charge me with a RICO, how does me wanting to whoop Wack 100's feet, who's named as a victim, as we just saw in the case, how does that correlate? How did that correlate to money laundering and not paying the government back this money? And then you want to say that I caught this body in Vegas and all that kind of stuff. What does whooping Wack's feet have to do with any of that? You got to make it make sense to the RICO. Unless the feds have a sick sense of humor and they just wanted us to know that Wack is in Big U's paperwork. Here's that.
I threatened to break Wack 100's jaw. Then you need to have a thoroughly presented breakdown.
And you know what's crazy? Man, my man just said the realest thing. Let's see who said this? Flex to Flash. Let's see who bring this up. So silence is gonna be deafening loud. Bro, we know that these niggas watch my channel and then literally go and copy the exact same thing that I was talking about and all that kind of shit. So we know that. We know that these niggas will just scroll through my channel. So Rich Rapper's talking about, okay, let me go find a clip and make the comment or reaction about the exact same thing. We already know that. Why they never copy this? Why they never copy this kind of stuff? These niggas watch my content. We all know they do. We've seen it. You feel me? We've all seen niggas copy exactly what I'm doing. Damn near I'll post and then 5 minutes later, this nigga's posting about the same thing. But come on, my nigga. We all see this shit. Why they never copy this shit? Why we never talk about the flu flammery, the skullduggery, or the larceny? It's a bunch of skullduggery. The Duggeries are always being scolded. The Duggeries are always being scolded. So I'm just, trying to figure it out.
Shows how this is proof of.
Sir, 2026, what's the deal?
Government seeks to introduce uncharged acts that are not alleged in the indictment as predicate racketeering acts or acts in furtherance of the conspiracy and fails to provide 404B notice, the court should exclude the evidence. So he's saying, hey, if these acts are not, if we not charged with this, and they not saying that this was done in furtherance of the conspiracy or that it's not an actual racketeering act, then y'all should not allow this in. And in closing on this paragraph, he says that where uncharged acts are sufficiently disjointed from the charged pattern of racketeering activity, they cannot be deemed inextricably intertwined and must be subjected to the strictures of Rule 404B. Furthermore, the use of uncharged acts to prove a RICO conspiracy raises acute jury instruction and jury unanimity issues, making it hard for the jury to be unanimous. And as the jury may properly rely on non-predicate overt acts to reach a verdict. In other words, when you bringing in a bunch of stuff that we haven't been charged with, you may confuse the jury and have them relying on something that we haven't been charged with that's just an overt act. And they may end.
Okay, so him having Wack as, one to whoop Wack feet and Wack being a victim in the paperwork is an overt act. It's not an actual criminal charge. So, yeah, Wack is in the paperwork as a victim. Yeah, Wack is in the paperwork as a victim. But, nigga, that's an overt act. That ain't no criminal charge. You can't charge me for that because I want to whoop somebody's feet. You feel me? You can't charge me because I want to break somebody's jaw. So, he a victim in the paperwork, but, man, so what? You can want to whoop somebody. I want to go whip out the nigga I coach the kids football team with right now. You can't charge me with a crime for that. I ain't did nothing. You feel me?
Guilty on that. Now, the government would respond to Big U and they would say that the fear and control category encompasses charged overt acts that are direct evidence. They will go on to say the defendant's motion challenges dozens of overt acts alleged in the first superseding indictment, styled as Rule 404B concerns. That framing is backwards. The government is entitled to prove the overt charged in its own indictment. These are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the charged RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. Now, the reason I was emphasizing uncharged in the last stuff that I was reading from Big U is because I was seeing that they were locked in on it. He kept saying, y'all saying I threatened WACK100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up WACK100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that yes, you are. The fear and control.
Big U is being charged with wanting to whoop WACK100. Tendernism. Pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down, pick the blind up, put the blind down. Big U is Reg Dog. Big U has officially been charged with man. Wack is a victim in the case. I said it. I told y'all. Wack was a victim in the case, nigga. I beat the feds, nigga. I beat the feds, nigga. I keep trying to tell you niggas, bro. I beat these niggas. And I never fucked up again in life, nigga. I got off by the skin of my teeth. Nigga, I beat these niggas, bro. I told y'all. Hold on, let me run it back. Let me put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Hold on. Let me put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Nerp in the main man, come on. Nerp in the main man, come on. Nerp in the main man, come on. I'm in the murk in the main man, come on. I got you, bro. I got you. I'm finna, hold on. Let me run it back a little bit. Because this shit right here.
From Big U is because I was seeing that they were locked in on it. He kept Y'all saying I threatened WACK 100. I'm not charged with that. Y'all saying that I said I wanted to beat up WACK 100. I'm not charged with that. The government is now coming back and saying that, yes, you are. The fear and control category that Big U is talking about encompasses charged overt acts that are direct evidence. Again, it says these are not uncharged other acts. They are part of the RICO conspiracy, and proof of charged overt acts requires no 404B justification. So, long story short, Big U is charged with assaulting WACK 100. It says it right here in the paper.
Big U is charged with assaulting WACK 100. I didn't make it up. But when I said it, niggas wanted to take shots at my character. Oh, niggas drug my name through the mud to hide this shit, bro. Niggas drug my name through the mud. Niggas lied. Niggas tried, oh, he rich rapper. He was da-da-da. He was da-da-da. Listen, my nigga, this is what they didn't want me to talk about, bro. This is what I was loud and I was correct. I was loud and I was correct. Niggas drug my name through the mud to protect the nigga that was in paperwork. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. You niggas is fucking weird, bro. You niggas are weird, bro. I've been saying it for the longest. This nigga's in paperwork. All you weird ass YouTube niggas, weirdos, bro. Weirdos, bro. You niggas push the weird ass narrative to hide this. Come on, bro. Y'all niggas didn't want him to be a snitch that bad. Man, but here go the thing though. Is Adam gonna talk about it? Is Adam gonna bring it up? Munchie B for sure gonna bring it up.
Work. He mentioned WACK 100 specifically, and this has been.
Is No Jumper live right now? And if so, is Lush on there?
Topic for quite some time. Wack has always been saying, I'm not in the paperwork. I'm not in the paperwork. And people have been debating over whether or not Wack was actually involved in this investigation in the eventual charge and incarceration of Big U. Now, here we have it. Right here, the government U is charged. These overt acts are not just things that were mentioned in the paperwork for exercise. You know, these are things that Big U is actually charged with. You know, the reason why it's funny is because one of the overt acts says that Big U made a statement saying that he was bigger than Nipsey Hussle, and I'm still confused on how that constitutes a federal crime. But like I said, the government.
Nigga, this is barn. But you know what, Reg? It's not barnacles. I've been saying it. You know what? So for everybody watching the YouTube land, I can see how it's barnacles for you. But to me, there are no codes to be barnacled. There are no codes to be barnacled. It's not barnacles. There are no codes to be barnacled at all. There's not a single code to be barnacled. There's no barnacalias. There are no Kellias to be barnacled here. Just a bunch of skullduggery, flu family, and larceny, boy. I swear.
Is now saying that
we got the word.
You charged with assault on WACK 100. He's also charged with making threats to WACK 100. I'm interested to see how this is going to play out because Wack has been trying very hard to keep his name from being attached to this in the witness aspect. But when you look at things like this, the defendant should remain detained for the safety of the community, the victims, and witnesses in this case. In defendant's own words,
Big U should stay in jail for the safety of Wack, is what they're saying, bro.
If I would have had a problem with any man, the issue would have been resolved and he wouldn't be here or I wouldn't be here. And for the hope of some semblance of justice for the families of his victims. Indeed, with seemingly just hours of notice of his pending arrest, Defendant has already destroyed valuable evidence, attempted to paint a false narrative of his criminality in the public, and publicly condemned his enemies by name. He cannot be allowed to continue on this obstructive.
Publicly condemned his enemies by name. That's that video when Big U said 600 and Wack. Shout out to Back on Fig. We love Heather and T-Rail.
Release would pose a serious risk to individuals whom have assisted the government in this case, as well as witnesses and victims who have so far refused to cooperate or provide statements because of what they know. As defendant made clear in an intercepted call on January 5th, 2023, being a rat means you are done. Indeed, trying to intimidate and dissuade anyone from cooperating with law enforcement or otherwise reporting information about defendant before turning himself in, defendant posted an Instagram video naming his co-defendants and known opponents, instructing the public to not associate with them and claiming if they did, they were not black. So
I've been telling y'all about this. I've been telling. How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I told y'all that Wack was snitching 4 or 5 times. The YouTube niggas is weird. They said no. Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody, baby. Man. Niggas rather talk trash and lie and downplay me. Man, come on, fool. I told you niggas. Oh, Rich Rapper just a hater. Oh, Rich Rapper can't get along with nobody. No, I stay away from niggas that be fucking with the cops and them niggas that be fucking with niggas fucking with the cops. Think about every nigga who I said was a weirdo who I got into it with are all cool with a nigga in paperwork. Every single one of them. Every single one of them, bro. Every single nigga who hated me on YouTube is cool with this, was cool with this nigga right now. Say I'm lying. Name one nigga that's not. Name one nigga that's not cool with this nigga right now. Every nigga who I got into it with on YouTube right now is cool with the nigga in the paperwork. Psh, I stay away from niggas that be fucking with the cops and them niggas that be fucking with niggas fucking with the cops. Niggas is weird, bro. Niggas are everybody's weird. I caught it. Everybody's weird. All you niggas, any nigga who I ever got into it with on YouTube, you're a weirdo, bro. Your homie's in paperwork, and you're a weirdo, bro. And you're a weirdo. Any and every nigga. I don't give a fuck if we squashed it. All you niggas are weird, bro. Everybody's a weirdo. Your homie in paperwork. Your homie in paperwork. Your homie in paperwork. You thought that it was, even if you didn't know the reason behind it, even if you was just a pawn and you didn't know, and you I was just going with the trend, it was because I was talking too loud about this nigga being in paperwork, and you helped provide sanctity and sanctuary and facilitated the peace and the privacy of a snitch. Since day one, I said it. What? Not ODM. The only reason ODM ain't cool with Wack is because Wack won't give him a job. Let Wack give ODM some money. ODM gonna be Wack's biggest fan. ODM the same nigga that put it on Andre and 50 Crip that he'll never be cool with Flacco. And this is what it is. So ODM will do whatever for the YouTube spotlight. We're not even worried about that. Right here, right here, right here, snitch work. Snitch work. Snitch work. Stop me when I'm lying. I ain't told no lie. Reg Dog, did I tell a lie? Did I tell a lie? Did I tell a lie? Because Wack is officially named, because Big U is officially charged by the federal government for assault on WACK100. That's why. It's the paperwork right here. Let's keep going.
Basically doing here is, this is 2 separate instances where the government was arguing that
Boss Renegade
should not be allowed to have bail, he should not be released. And in each one of those instances, they bring up the video that he made before he turned himself in. Now, if you're not familiar with this video, take a look. So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna turn myself in, see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to So, y'all, when they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Wack, Canon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all file. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet. All y'all who be promoting and listening to what they're saying. All y'all giving these likes and hidden likes. All y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this.
And remember, after this happened, Wack called in the community, and AD and Pun platformed him to talk about all this Wooty Bam. Right. Right. Nobody wanna. Right. Right.
You see when it's a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. When you take that video and couple it with the fact that the government is specifically referencing this Instagram live and saying that, you know, this guy is attempting to intimidate witnesses and victims and possibly deter other witnesses and victims, and they cite that he called out known opponents, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. I mean, Big U is saying, hey, y'all bringing up WACK 100 in these uncharged acts and trying to use this stuff against me. And these aren't even crimes. Y'all haven't presented me no evidence of me doing anything to Wack or saying that Wack was unfair or any type of proof.
So Big U came out swinging. Let me break it down to you on some ninja shit real quick. Big U came out swinging. I ain't in no paper. I ain't got charged with trying to woo-wop him. It's an overt act. Yeah, I might have said I wanted to break his jaw, man, but so what? I ain't been charged with nothing. The feds was like, nigga, you have been charged with that. What you mean it's an overt act? No, nigga, indictment. Overt what? Indictment, nigga. Indictmentism. Tenderism. Indictmentism. Nigga, what? You not charged with what? Watch this. Boom, now you are. Watch. Boom, now you are. Easy call. Easy to the point. You're now charged with assault on WACK 100. Eugene Henley. WACK 100 been in the paperwork as a victim. I've been saying that. I've been saying, remember when I was on the P Nice shit and I was like, say you not in Draw's paperwork, and P Nice was like, well, you can't, man, bro. You know you can't just, come around and just be saying that kind of stuff without. I can't say that Wack was in the Big U paperwork as a victim when he's actually in the paperwork, but Wack can walk around with a fake FBI card with Bureau spell wrong, Federal Bureau of Investigation, not Bureau of Investigations. So he can spell Bureau wrong, but I can't. Okay.
That I did this. And the government is responding saying those are not uncharged acts. Those are charged acts. And the proof will be offered at trial. So we can expect to see at some point during Big U's trial, the government put on a presentation of a crime that Big U allegedly did against WACK 100. And I'm assuming that we are going to see WACK 100 testify in some form. And WACK knows that the time is coming, which is why I believe he made this video. I always like to come to y'all first about anything I'm doing. I got a tough decision to make. Big U, when he turned himself in, made accusations that WACK 100 and 600. He mentioned loose cannon, which he made very.
When he put this video out, then I said that it was a dog whistle, snitch whistle. I said it. I said it. When this video came out, I said, look at Wack snitching again. Wack about to hit the stand. I told y'all, y'all uncle is snitch. Your daddy or your mama brother, since all you niggas seem to be cousins, maybe that's why all these niggas went against me, because that's their uncle and weird snitchery running all their DNA. It's sick.
But WACK 100 and 600 was working with the feds to take him down. He said this to the world. My legal team, when it comes to my overall businesses and things that I do, they have some say so in this matter.
Your favorite podcaster on a 50-50 yard? Man, I'm the only one walking the main line, solid chin up, chest out, bro. All you niggas at one time or another, my nigga played the WACK100 game, bro, and everybody went against me for it. Everybody went against me for it. If I ain't talking to you, you won't be offended. If I ain't talking to you, you won't be offended. But if you offended, it's because you're a big homie on a 50-50 yard. Shout out to ATM Richie.
I've been fighting them on what I didn't want to do, which is file anything against Big U for defamation and slander, as I did with World Star and LA Media, and I won that case, and I got paid. For anybody that talks to this man, communicates with this man,
Someone check on Creep.
keep my legal team from doing what they feel they're obligated to do. To me, this was clearly Wack trying to intimidate people into not running stories about him snitching on Big U or being involved with Big U's case in any kind of way. Basically trying to put the narrative.
I've been told y'all my cousin 600 was a cop. I've been telling y'all that my cousin 600 was a cop. That's cousin Chris the cop. That's my cousin cop Chris. I keep telling y'all that. Y'all thought that I was playing. Y'all thought that I was playing. I've been telling you that this nigga was a fluke, flammer, skulldugger, and a larceny. You feel me? My girl watching. What's up, babe? Hey, but babe, they're big homie on a 50-50 yard. Because these niggas right here, boy. Oh, God.
But as we see here, Big U is saying
everybody went against me. Niggas kept their distance from me. Niggas wouldn't platform me. Niggas wouldn't podcast with me. Niggas would talk shit about me. Niggas tried to discredit me. Niggas tried to whatever, all to protect the snitch. I'm glad that I made every decision that I made and every enemy that I made because I never peace treated with a snitch. Never. All these gangbangers in our YouTube space, everybody got a dead homie. Everybody got a dead homie. Y'all let the non-affiliate be the most solid nigga and see a snitch. Y'all let a nigga who don't gang bang, y'all let the non-affiliate be the most solid and not see the snitch. What? Niggas is weak as fuck. Niggas is weak as fuck. Man, effed up thing. They all saying the Christian comes in Long Beach, down the hell, like, whoop, whoop. Hey, it is what it is, bro. But what I know is, I never peace treaty with a snitch. And I never set foot on a 50-50 yard. Nigga, y'all niggas out here talking all this high-powered gangbanger shit. On this, on that. Insert numbers and fingers in American Sign Language here. Hanging out with a snitch, nigga, and then nobody want to believe it. All you niggas will tell. You can't tell me that none of them niggas who defended Wack wouldn't tell under the highlights. Snitch asses. Y'all saw yourself in that nigga. That's why y'all wasn't tripping.
Acts that y'all trying to put on my indictment, and the government is saying no. These are
we ain't gonna talk about Spotty Face. That's my homie. That's my homie. We ain't gonna talk about the homie. We ain't gonna talk about the homie. You can talk about everybody else, but you can't talk about my homies, my nigga. I'm biased. I say this all the time. But at least I admit it. Hey, Nightly Slash, at least I'll admit it. 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 I'm biased to my homies. So I don't be going for no disrespect to my homies, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm biased. It's been a minute since I said it because Brick Baby been locked up. I had to be biased to his dumb ass. That's my nigga though. I'm biased to all the homies. At least I keep it 100. And I ain't gonna pretend like I'm not. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. I'm letting you know out loud, full front, homie to homie, YouTube homie to YouTube homie, that I'm biased towards my real life homies. You feel me? I never allow disrespect or disrespect none of the homies. None. None. I'm always cool to the homies. So if you don't like them, I ain't mad at you for them. Mad at you for it. But you can't disrespect, bro, on my chat. I ain't gonna go for that. You feel me? I ain't gonna go for that. But I ain't mad if you don't like him. Everything ain't for everybody. I ain't mad if you don't like him. I can't even get mad at you for that. You feel me? But, you know, I'm loyal to the turf. You feel me? I'm only loyal to my homies.
Charged acts. These are part of the conspiracy.
And I'll say this too. Spody Face is from the same literal fucking community as me. Literal. We both from the Crenshaw district, you know what I'm saying? Different parts of or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's a family thing. It's a family thing. But you ain't gotta agree with this nigga or like this nigga. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm not pushing Martin Luther Spody Face on nobody. Like, I'm not. I got love for my nigga though.
And they are charges. So wow, obviously just talking because you're not gonna get to sue. You can't sue somebody for telling the truth. You know, he's charged, bro. And it's related to you now. I'm interested to see how you will explain him being charged with a crime related to an offense with you that you claim you did not cooperate in. Doubt that if they had no information that he actually talked to you or threatened you or
Yes, that's Smack. Wack is Smack's uncle. That's Wack and Smack. That's his uncle.
had an encounter with you, that they will be going forward with this. So obviously they got some information that this situation actually happened. Could it be? Nobody ever knew. Ooh. So here it goes, right? Ground zero here. All of this is a parking lot, right? I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't see.
So what Wack is finna do is tell the story about how big you in the 60s surrounded him at that event. And remember, Snoop Wilpock, you was there. I don't know if Reg Dog is still there. Nightly Slash, you just kind of got here, so I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if you was around for this. But when Wack said this on No Jumper, nigga, I remember pausing it live and saying he's telling the police what happened. He's open air snitching, open air cooperation. He's not going to the police station and snitching. He's putting it in the universe. He's putting it out into the atmosphere so the police pick it up. Nigga, why is this same thing that he's saying right here in the paperwork? I called it, bro. I called it. Reg Dog. Remember I said that shit? Snoop Wilpock. Remember I said that shit? Okay, so Nightly Slash said I didn't have to be here, nigga. I know what you're talking about. Bro, I called it. I called it. I said that nigga snitching, bro. He's snitching. He want the police to know what's happening. The police ain't looking at Adam 22 and No Jumper. Here they are. I'm not saying that the police be at No Jumper. I'm just saying that niggas over there keep going to jail. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying that the police be at No Jumper, but I am saying that niggas over there keep going to jail. That's all I'm saying. That's what I am saying. Told all the details.
When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me? They stopped. They back was to me.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I could have dealt with everything in front of me. And what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team. You and him is here. Now watch this. Look, watch this.
Notice how none of this is in the paperwork. He's making it up.
Here, out the car. Was here, and here. You taking notes? Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20
Details. The police don't even have to do an investigation no more. They just gotta eat popcorn and watch No Jumper.
and direction and they didn't know it.
The Fed.
Check this out. So when I'm letting you know,
My team, the feds. Nigga, your team is the feds.
Still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even.
And now that he's saying it out loud, that is how the police and the feds, they use military tactical timing and position and all that kind of stuff. 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Yeah, nigga. WACK100's on a 50-50 yard. This nigga snitching, bro. I told y'all.
To my homies in code, letting them know which way I'm gonna push them. I said, nigga, ain't number 20 of y'all. I'm going to down 3 of y'all. I just told him I'm going to get off in 3s. Right? At that point, he knows if he's getting off in 3s, when he go to 2s, he's running out of it. Dudes right now to this day had no idea that they was ambushed. Yeah, man. Oh, man. I really don't know, man. But
team, you ready? Team?
The time is soon approaching for us to see, and I do know for sure that Big U is charged with this situation related to WACK100. So, with that said, I'm gonna wrap this one up, man. Hit that hype button before you get up out of here. Hit that like button.
Hit this hype, hit this like. We up out of here to the next one, man. If you ain't did so yet, hit a subscribe. We up out of here. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. We gone. Chat, if you ain't did so yet, hit that subscribe. Hey, man, I want y'all to go. If y'all could, real quick, man. I posted a picture of me and my girl. We was having a good time celebrating our anniversary. If y'all could go drop some love on that picture, it's in my community post. Picture me and my girl running likes up, running comments up, and anybody trolling in the comments, go bully them. We finna get up out of here to the next one. Red dots to the left. You know the rest. We gone.